As currently constructed, there are a few things at Manchester United that we can talk positively about. There are a few players that we can talk about not leaving this summer. And this is where I kind of want to focus my videos for the next few weeks, because there's so much negativity around the club right now. There's so many things I can go into. This season was hard to watch. I missed so many games because I just couldn't handle it with this club anymore. So for the next few weeks, I want to focus on the positive things. One of the more positive things around this club at the minute is Amad Diallo. So I want to talk about Amad Diallo, and I want to focus on five key topics, which are his numbers this season, his big game performances, what the underlying metrics tell us about Amad Diallo, his injuries throughout the season, and what they can tell us about what to expect going forward, and the long-term investment and tactical role that he should play, that I believe he should play under Ruben Amorim. And we're going to start with the stats. The stats are that Amad Diallo, in the Premier League alone, played 26 games this season, and in those 26 games, Amad Diallo managed to score 8 goals and he had 8 assists. Now, this was with a lot of inconsistencies, but even so, Amad Diallo was able to produce 16 goal contributions this season. When we came into this season, one of the things I did say was that I needed to see these type of numbers from Amad. Amad was 2 goals away and 2 assists away from from delivering double digits in assists and goals and completing a total of 20 goal contributions, which is quite a substantial numbers. And if we had pushed Amad to another 4 games, maybe another 10 games, if he had played all the games, maybe Amad would have been able to achieve those numbers. I actually believe that he did. So when you take into account the inconsistencies that we had in this club, the lack of performance we saw from the attacking players, the injuries Amad had to deal with personally, for Amad to produce 8 goals and 8 assists is very impressive. And the thing is, it's not just the stats. I know this part of the video is about the stats, but it's not just the stats. It's the eye test. When you watch Amad play, like a lot of United fans feel the same way that I feel. It's just a joy to watch. It's one of those players that you just think to yourself, if this guy really puts in the work, he can be a world-class player. And this is why I wanted to make this video. This is why I want to focus on the positives of a player like Amad Diallo. Now, the numbers become a little bit, more inspiring when you look at the full picture, or when you look at what Amad was able to do throughout the whole season. So Amad in total played 43 games. Again, struggled with injuries throughout the season, but he was able to score 11 goals and he had 10 assists, a total of 21 goal contributions. Now, these are not amazing numbers, and Amad is now 22 years old, but within 3 years, with another 3 years of development, if Amad's able to produce this now in a consistent team, I can seriously see Amad being a 20 goal per season player and someone who can also give you 15 assists. Now, I know the numbers that I just said are quite like elite numbers, but those are kind of the standards that I have for Amad Diallo. And this takes us very well to our next segment, which is Amad Diallo, the big game performer. We saw this throughout the season. We saw this against Liverpool. We saw this against City. We saw this in the win against Southampton. Amad Diallo is a big game performer. And if you don't believe the stats for whatever reason, then you can't argue with me you can't argue with me when it comes to the big games. Amad Diallo really showed out and really balled out this season, especially that goal against City. That goal against City, like, I was already an Amad fan. I already believed that he could become something special in this club. But that goal, the amount of talent he showed, the amount of composure, technical excellence, clutch gene he showed in that single goal alone from this season just made me believe even more. Amad is a big game player, a big game performer, a big character. You know, there are big characters in this team. Actually, not in this team, really and truly, but just in football in general. There are you do want to have those big characters in the dressing room. But in my opinion, what's even more important is having those big characters on the pitch. And Amad Diallo is one of those players. That you can trust that when the going gets tough, he will deliver numbers. He will be there for your team. So when it comes to the big game performances, it's just an added bonus as to why Amad Diallo as to why I believe Amad Diallo should stay in this club and why he will turn out to be one of the better players in the Premier League and he will turn out to be a star in this team with no time. Now, I'm just going to read something out to you guys because I saw this stat and I found it quite interesting, and is the underlying metrics, what the underlying metrics say about Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo's expected goals this season and expected assists, so the goals were 6.58 and his expected assists were 6.76 in the Premier League, which places him in the 85th to 95th percentile for attacking output. Again, those numbers that we saw from Amad, they're not like revolutionary numbers. We need more from we need more from Amad if we're going to win anything substantial. But when you consider the fact that there have been so many inconsistencies, the fact that Erik ten Hag did not want to play this player, the fact that this player had so many injuries to deal with throughout the season, again, the underlying metrics really help you to paint a picture of what Amad done this season. And then, of course, we all know his dribbling, which Amad is completing 4.2 dribbles per 90. 4.2 dribbles per 90, which puts him in the 97th percentile. And then, where is it? His shot conversion action at 28% with 64% shot accuracy. With 16 of his total 25 shots this season being on target. There is a lot to develop, but the underlying metrics paint a very positive picture on what Amad's going to be able to do this going forward, and that what I believe he's going to be able to do this season if, again, he's given the right platform. Because I've said the same thing about Kobbie Mainoo. You have to give, and I'm going to make a video on Lenny Euro soon, and I'll say the same thing. You have to give these young players the platform to succeed. The young players, if there's too much change, too much inconsistency, we will not see the best out of these players. You need to give them the time. You need to give them the right platform for them to be able to achieve. And now, we can't talk about Amad without talking about the injuries. And the injuries are a problem because throughout his whole time at United so far, we've kind of seen Amad deal with injuries. And this is something that he really needs to improve on if he's going to have a successful career. When you think about Ronaldo and Messi, like, one of the main reasons why they were able to be so dominant is because they were always available. And it's not just about Ronaldo and Messi. You look at players like Ryan Giggs, how long he was able to play for. You look at Salah this season. Salah would have not been able to put up the numbers he put up this season if he wasn't available. It's just a general thing about life. The best ability is availability, and we need Amad to be available this season. We really need Amad. If all these positive things we're saying about Amad, his eye test, his big game performance, his underlying stats, the love the fans have for him, all of these things don't mean anything if he's not healthy and on the pitch to perform. So Amad, especially this summer, needs to work really well to improve his fitness and to decrease his disposition for injuries, because we've seen Kobbie Mainoo and Lenny Euro working hard. I truly hope that Amad's doing the same. He needs to get his body ready for a hard season. And finally, the long-term investment and the long-term strategy with Amad, which I believe should be to try and get Amad to be a starter on this team. I know we've got Cunha coming in, we've got Mbeumo coming in, but I feel like Amad should be part of this project. I feel like Amad should be one of those key players because the amount of talent this guy has, he can really blossom into something special. He's only 22 years old. You know, people like to say that players hit their prime or start their primes between the ages of 26 to 30. Amad still has at least 4 years to go to develop even more. And we've already seen the type of talent he has. So let's give Amad the right platform to be successful. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching the video until the end. Please have a like, comment, subscribe, share, do all these things to please help me grow this channel. And as per usual, I'll see you guys soon.